Hello Wolfnet, and this is Gideon. No history brief today, because we're going to talk about what's in the box. This is not from Aries Games and Minis, but as a friendly reminder, if you like anything you see today, you can go hit up Derek. He might be able to help you out. I imagine it's probably going to go pretty quick, but this of course is Clan Invasion Kickstarter Wave 1 unboxing, still sealed. Been putting this off. I was wanting to open it with kind of everybody from the Facebook group and the regiment and everything. Was thinking about doing it on Discord, but frankly I didn't want to wait until I could get everybody's schedules coordinated, so this is the best way I can do it. I've never done a video before. I hope it works, but let's dig in here. I will say there's a couple of banged up corners on the box, so hopefully no issues inside. Alright, well, first things first, right on top we have the Dagger Star keychain. That somehow got above the packaging, so that's cool. Oh, so much goodness. Alright, well, first things first, let's get this out of the way. Don't tell the rest of the guys, but you know, I had to go and get the t-shirt for the best mercenary unit. It would have been a toss-up if there was a Grey Death option, but there wasn't, so Kellhounds is where it's at. Alright, we got two different decks of Mech Warriors, and we have a couple of packs. I am not going to go through these on camera, just in case there's somebody out there who doesn't know if they're in here. I don't want to spoil the surprise for them. Anyway, dog tag bottle opener. So much good stuff in here. There you go. You know, got your DNA sequence right on there in case you forget who you are. Oh, a couple of slightly smashed box there, but it looks like all of the minis are in good order. Oh, speaking of damaged box, holy cow. Look at that. But again, the plastic did its job. Looks like everything is a-okay in there. Now I don't even know where to begin here. Just kind of get some of this little stuff out of the way, I think. Oh, man. So I did get the Kellhounds t-shirt and pin, but had to go and get myself the Rasselhag coin, frankly because I thought the Kellhound coin would be a little, I don't know, boring, maybe is the word. But the shield and serpent really fills in the coin nicely. Definitely digging that. That is sharp. Kellhound's patch. Man, the embroidery on here looks real nice. It's a real clean looking patch. I like it. On here, let's see any other small stuff other than dice. Nope, that looks like about it. Oh, you know, this is a big part of why I wanted to record this and share this is because of the suspense of what is in the salvage boxes. So let's go ahead and find out what the legendary box is. Be honest with you, I'd be happy with any of them, but I would prefer a Marauder or an Archer. Could always use another Marauder or Archer. And it is Madcap Pride. I will definitely take that. I know Coach in his video, you can check it out below. It is, I just realized I was holding some of this stuff sideways for you guys. I apologize. But anyway, Coach mentioned how similar this looks to a Prime. but he skipped the jump jets. That's a pretty important part there. Yeah, I apologize for holding stuff sideways. Like I said, this is my first video, so it's a little bit of an odd setup I have here. Aiden Pride, he's a 1-2. I never knew. I always kind of assumed he was a little better than that, but anyway, on to the next here. Ooh, there we go. That is the Heavy Striker Star. Those look honestly pretty mean. Here, I'll set these to the side for the moment, because these boxes are, we kind of know what we get with those. Next up, I got the Inner Sphere Battle Lance, Warhammer, Phoenix Hawk. Man, even the Rifleman looks pretty badass. Got one of the real old original Riflemans sitting here, and I gotta tell you, this new plastic one, I'm excited. Anyway, I keep getting distracted. Gotta just kind of get through these here so I get to my salvage boxes. Oh, Urban Mech salvage box. I'm going to try to refrain from some of the things I would like to say. You know, I've been digging through trying to find a good Urban Mech for 350. So in Alpha Strike, for those of you who don't know 350, come over to the Wolfnet Radio Podcast Facebook group or the Discord, check us out. But we're working on trying to get a standardized method of play for Alpha Strike, so you can just show up anywhere and get straight down to the battling and kind of do some different objectives and stuff like that. Anyway, you know, Urban Mech actually looks pretty cool right now, so hats off to Bishop Steiner. Did an excellent job on that. I kind of feel like, you know, a lot of good talent, and maybe could be used on something other than an Urban Mech, but hey, you know, the man's got his preferences, so can't fault that. Alright, so salvage box number 1. So before we open, I should tell you what I'm hoping for. Basically not more Grendels. That's what I'm hoping for. Everything else I think I can find a home for in one of my 350 lists. Of course, a little lighter, a little faster, fits my playstyle a little bit more. Oh, nice. Got ourselves a gargoyle there. Gotta say, the sculpts on these are just insanely good. Get the boxes out of the way here. Let me see if I can get my camera to agree with me. There's a little bit of mold lines, nothing bad, especially for the level of detail I'm seeing on here. That is going to be a lot of fun to paint up. Barrel's a little bent, nothing, a little TLC and some hot water won't fix. Man, that's just a good looking mini right there. Probably find a home for that in my, well, I'm not going to tell you, in one of my 350s. Gotta keep the surprise. Someday I'll unleash it on someone here. Alright, next box. Oh, got ourselves a low-key. Nice. A little explodey, but man, they pack a punch. And again, just the detail on this, that is awesome. Check that out. Every little panel, it's gonna, you know, I'm a mediocre painter, so when I see stuff with nice, deep defined lines, makes me happy because that means it's probably going to take a wash and some dry brushing really well just to make it pop. So these are looking amazing. For some of you out there who are better painters, you might think, man, they're, you know, gouging up my canvas, but for the rest of us, I think that'll work out real nice. All right, and a vulture. Again, looking very good. So far, 2 heavies and an assault. Just got 1 left here. And then plus the Madcap Pride. I'm kind of looking out. I was expecting I was going to get 4 Grendels, frankly. I'll get my pilot cards out of there. And the last one. What could it be? Could it be a Daisha? It might be. Feels a little light for that. Judging from how big it is in the other box, probably isn't, but let's see here. Oh, got ourselves a Ryokan. Nice. Man. Those are some just real nice details on there. I'm a little concerned about forward facing on these, but for a lot of the new sculpts I just kind of resigned myself to marking the front and the rear on each hex base. These aren't so bad. The Vulture's a little cockeyed, but not a huge issue there. Alright, so those are the salvage boxes. Oh man, these posters. This is why I waited till my wife was at work to record, because I knew I was going to be making a huge mess. So, oh man, look at that poster. The color in there, just the vibrance of these colors. It's going to look great on the wall. And of course, you got the Mad Cat sitting there with all of its pods out. That is another really good looking poster. Gonna have to claim some new wall space. So I have a home for all of these. Let's see what we got here. Oh, cover of MechWarrior Destiny. Throwback to the old school MechWarrior covers. I dig it. And on the other side, and 2, I know you can't tell by looking at it on the screen here, but this is some nice heavy gauge paper. This is quality stuff. Of course, I'd prefer it if it would have been rolled up, but I get it. You don't need to ship a box 3 times the size just for a couple of posters, but I think the heavier stock paper might help with some of those lines, get those creases out of there. And oh, we get the cover from the retail version of the Kickstarter. Oh, and there I go, already putting a split in it. And a map of the clan homeworlds. Put little crosshairs on each one. That sounds pretty good to me. I'm kidding, of course. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm a spheroid through and through. All right. Man, look at all of these record sheets. Just in case you weren't sure what to do, check this out. Tons and tons of record sheets. This is, I mean, nearly an entire record sheet book from that you'd buy, you know, retail with the cover and everything. No cover, of course, but dang, that is awesome. Alright, map pack. Tukid. I've been seeing a lot of questions going around about if these look as good as they did in all of the updates when you see them in person. Well, just from this one quarter that I can see, I'm telling you, heck yeah, these things, oh man. The colors on here are, again, very vivid, very intense. The contrast is excellent. The labeling is very well done. Got the white outline with the black letters, so that way doesn't matter if it's a light colored hex or dark colored hex, you can tell what on earth you're walking into. I know I'm probably not the only one who's had some discussions of I never would have moved into that hex if I could read it. I only showed you half of that map. I apologize. I am trying to keep this from running into forever, so the rapids on here look excellent. You can see some of the parts of the mechs down here. Good job, Aiden Pride. Anybody who sinks some clan mechs is a friend of mine. Nice. Oh, this is the map I was a little wary of with the built-in fire. Didn't know how that was going to translate to the printed paper, but it looks awesome. Not gonna mince words, not gonna lie. This looks awesome. I don't know how useful it'll be for play other than if you're recreating Tukid, but to be able to use each one of these maps a couple of times, definitely worth it. This is probably the most plain out of all of them, and the shading and the colors are still just top notch. Oh man, that is nice. First thing that pops right out is right here. You have, let me see if I can get it on the screen a little better. Right here, you have the falls, and it really gives you a good sense of what it is without even, if you can't see the depth and the level, those look great. Alright. Map of Tukid. I remember them mentioning that there were going to be special rules for some of these new terrains that they were coming up with, so that's very nice. A whole sheet of fire hexes, because you know, some people just like to watch the world burn. Oh man, I can't believe. Totally, that's right, I went there. I apologize. Man, just all the water on all of these just gives you the right feel. Depth 0, definitely clearly a different color than on the other maps. Definitely gives you more of a sense of a lagoon or marsh. And I was going to try to pronounce the name of the mountain pass. I pass, never mind. I give up. So, this also looks excellent. Definitely one clear way from one side to the other. And the cutouts. Got 3 sheets. Oh, I guess I should mention, I did a star kernel pledge, and then I added some extras in case you didn't already kind of piece that together, but it all started as a kernel. The cardboard cutouts all look excellent. The paint jobs on them are also very nice. If you can make that all out, I think it'll be, some of these are going to be good kind of rough templates for when I get around to slapping paint on all of these. Alright, next up is I picked up Commander's Edition and Total Warfare because, well, needed Commander's Edition, but having just the PDFs, it just doesn't work at the table. It doesn't work for me. Maybe I'm old, but both of these came in excellent condition. I've seen some people have some smashed corners. Both of these are excellent condition. Picked those up, that way I would have some free cheap shipping. Alright, and then Grasslands. This has been out. I did not take the neoprene map, so that way I could pick up Grasslands and a couple other goodies instead. Now you may be saying, why didn't you take the neoprene? They're awesome. I agree, they are awesome. I just don't have the space for them right now, and frankly, I'm a lot more focused on Alpha Strike with the 350. Again, go check out Wolfnet Radio Podcast Facebook group. So instead of having neoprene mats in order to have hex, I'd rather just take the paper. It's a lot easier to cart around. I'm not going to go over Grasslands because, like I said, that's a product that's been out for a while. And, ooh, so nice I almost dropped it. Hellhounds pin. Very nice. A lot bigger than I was expecting, but that's not a bad thing. I will definitely take that. And then Clan Invasion. What? There we go. Sorry, figuring this out. Clan Invasion expansion. And it is an expansion. You do need a Game of Armor Combat if you're not a Kickstarter backer, because they gave us the basic rules, if you remember, in a PDF. So, if you're looking to pick this up in the store, or if you have friends that are just getting into it that missed the Kickstarter, make sure that they have a copy of the rules for Game of Armored Combat before they pick it up. I will not be going over this. Coach, somewhere above or below this video, already kind of went over what all comes in here. He did a good job with that, so I'm not going to repeat everything he said. And last but not least, this is the part that I was most worried about, because I really thought, of anything, this is the thing that Quartermaster was going to miss. But let's see here. I got... Uh-oh. Could it be? I may be missing dice. Oh, there they are. Found them. Hiding underneath. Good job, Quartermaster. I should never have doubted you. But I got one set of each of the inner sphere factions because I'm a spheroid through and through, hardcore. Let's see if I can keep that in focus. So, these are the Hellhounds dice. Definitely a little more orange than I would have liked, but I understand kind of the rationale, because you have to have a little differentiation between all the different sets when you're rolling them. So while I would prefer if they were a little more red, I will take this because that means I can tell them apart from everything else. Then I got focus. There we go. The The Capellan dice, a little on the lime green side, but again, easy to differentiate. Don't have any easy to see sides on these. These are the Mech. Focus, there we go. I do think that they look nice and clean. The pips are quite deep. So I'm curious how these are going to roll. Oh, I kind of interrupted myself there, got off on a tangent. The reason I got all of the inner sphere sets is for Alpha Strike. I figure the most dice I'll probably be rolling in any given turn is 10. So, having 10 distinct pairs kind of made sense. There we got Federated Suns. They're upside down. But you get the idea. Those are good looking. They are showing up everything's showing up a little lighter here on the camera, it looks like, than what they do here in person. Part of that might be the amount of light I have. Wolf's Dragoons. Very nice. Not bad for playing mercenaries, you know. Can't fault them. Says the guy on that shows up on WNRP all the time. Draconis Combine. So, part of what I was talking about there, as far as color differentiating, these were the two that I was most worried about. The Dragoons and the Combine. Oh, my old man fingers are failing me on Desk Operatives have foiled me again. Oh. But as you can see, there is a pretty fair amount of difference between how dark they are. So I don't think there's going to be any problems rolling these next to each other because they're both black and red. So I think that's going to be just fine. Yeah, just ripping the tops off works so much better. And then the Rasselhag. For the amount of detail in there, like, this is not amazing, but for the amount of detail in there, they do look pretty nice. I did notice here on the back side, looks like it got bunched up against another one when the filler was still wet. So that one has an extra shield around it there. I'm gonna have to see if I can get that cleaned up. Not a huge issue. I can hear you all now, right now, saying, Gideon, get to the mech packs. I'm sorry I bought so many dice. Sorry that I decided I had to share them with you. Oh man, there's the Lion Alliance. Very clean. I really like these. I thought that the gray on blue was going to be, I don't know, very blah, but seeing them in person, they're looking real sharp. And then Comstar. Totally transparent, just like the organization is. Everybody very nice. And last one, Federated Commonwealth. I was not going to get these, but again, I needed 10, so that's what I went with. Alright, so back to the mech packs. Let's get these open, look over what is all here, make sure that none of this stuff, feeling like whoever did the packaging A plus to you, sir or ma'am, because this outside box, pretty beat up. But the mini that would have been most damaged would have been this one, and it is 100% fine. So, another Mad Cat Pride. Already looked at that. Was very much excited to see this one. As I mentioned earlier, Grey Death Legion is very close to my heart. And Grayson Carlisle's Marauder. This thing looks awesome. For comparison, I just finished up a little bit ago with Navanti's Angels of Marauder, and that is the old school plastic, and it is just no contest. These new minis, they are beefy, they are tough looking, they look like machines of war. I dig it. And again, biggest thing on these Marauders, the barrel's straight. Like, that's all that matters. I do not want to say how long I spent trying to get that older design one to have a mostly straight AC5. And then of course, Morgan Kell's Archer. I guess you could paint it up in blue and gold and say it's Jamie Wolfe's if you wanted to, but we all know the truth. Morgan Kell is the Archer pilot to end all Archer pilots. And this thing just looks amazing. I like the action pose. It looks like, you know, he's ready to unleash on some Yorinaga Kurita here. Or not unleash on him, as the case may be. And last but not least is Widowmaker. Man, this thing feels like 100 tons. It feels very solid, very bulky, ready to rock and roll. A little bit of fixing here at the barrels, it looks like. I may have to double check, get a couple reference images, make sure I'm correct that those might need a little sprucing up, but otherwise, everything else on here, I am not seeing a whole lot in the way of mold lines. Of course, I'm trying to do this while holding it a foot away from my face, and my old man eyes might be deceiving me, but very well done to all of the designers. These all are looking great. Oh, that was the Legends pack. I apologize, I don't know that I said that. This is the Inner Sphere Battle Lance. Held it up while it was in the packaging, but as you can see, give you a close-up here. I was really worried about the light mechs, just because the scale is so much more accurate now, that if there was errors on the lights and some of the smaller mediums, that it may have been quite an issue trying to get it cleaned up. But from what I'm seeing, this is very nice, very clean. Again, the raised panels. I know some people aren't a huge fan of the raised panel look. Not going to mention any names, Seneca, but and I get where you're coming from. Aesthetically, it's kind of a it's a choice, you know. Is it how you want it all to look or not? But these things are looking good, and I think, like I said earlier, a big part of it is how are they going to paint up? Can I get a few base coats and some wash and some dry brush? Oh, there's a little bit of mold line there. But that is not bad. All the panels appear to be lining up, so just a little work with the hobby knife, and we'll have this thing ready for action. Even the antennas are actually separated, which is very cool. A lot of the old ones, you'd have small stuff like that all kind of grown together. And one of my all-time favorite mechs right here, Warhammer. Little bit of mold line along the PPCs. Those, when you run into long smooth tubes like the PPC arms on here, generally you're going to have a little bit of mold line to clean up, but not bad. Probably wouldn't even show up after you throw some primer and stuff on there, unless you dry brush the top, then mold lines always show up. So there's the Warhammer. Next up we have the Clan Command Star, and already have the Thor in here spoken for. That'll be going into my Republic of the Sphere 350. Which variant, you ask? I'm glad you asked, because I'm not going to tell you. It's all going to be a surprise. Because someday I will meet you all in person and play you. And I don't want to give you months or years to plan ahead. Alright, anyway, man, look at that Thor. I think the only concern I have is with all this detail, it's going to really open up the options of painting, kind of like this piping here on the top. It's gonna be real tempting to paint each one of these details and make them stand out. So I'm gonna end up, instead of having, 10 different colors on one of these, it's just gonna get crazy. It's gonna be like doing the humanoid or D&D or fantasy or whatever other kind of miniatures you may paint, where you end up with a wet palette completely covered in different shades. I'm going to be running into that with these, I can tell you that. My Daishi here, looking very sharp. Tanky, mean, aggressive. That's what a 100-ton Clan Omni Mech ought to look like. Alright. Got the Koshi. Looks good. Oh, a little bit of flash right there on the end of the PPC, but otherwise looking pretty good. I guess gauze on this. This is a primary, isn't it? And another Ryokan. Little cleanup there to do on the thumb, but the pose is excellent. I like that a lot of these, the torso is just a little off center. Not terrible, but enough where you get a feel that, you get a feel that it's in action, it's in battle, not just standing at the mech hanger powered down, because when you're moving powered down mechs across the board, kind of feels a little weird, not gonna lie. Next up, we have the Command Lance. Why the Command Lance, you say? Well, because that's where the Marauder and Archer live. And, like I said, always need more Marauders and Archers. And again, we'll see here, make sure everything looks good. With the damage to the box, and this is the one that was on that corner. Nothing banged up. Slight bend to the AC5 there. Usually I think that that's a sign that they put it in the packaging when it was still a little warm. But, again, little warm water. Little love with the hobby knife on the mold lines there on the leg, but good looking mech. The only problem is painting that cockpit window in there is going to be a pain. Absolute pain. Can't win them all, I guess. Can't make everything perfect all the time. Sometimes it's got to be a little challenging. Alright, oh, get that in frame. And I have totally lost zoom, I apologize. Let's see if I can get it back here. There we go. Valkyrie looking good. Like I said, these lighter ones, I was worried because if there are flaws when they are this small, it's a pain to try to get sorted. And these look good. I like it. I like it a lot. Stinger. This is already spoken for as well for one of my 350s. And frankly, I never would have used a Stinger. There's just so many options that provide very similar capability. But when you got a Mini that looks this good, just begging for paint, might as well throw it in something. Check how I'm doing on time here. And the standard Archer. Holy crap. I apologize, guys. I just looked and realized how long this is taking. Anyway, standard Archer, a little less dynamic in the pose. And here you can see, definitely gonna have to mark the front on that just because it's kind of, feet are a little this way, torso's a little that way. Mark the center hex. Or the flat of the hex, I should say. That is awesome. When I watched Coach's video, for those of you who've watched it, I was kind of like, Coach, you keep saying awesome. Why do you keep saying awesome? Well, now that I'm holding them in my hand, I can't help it either. These just look great. Get the cards out of the way. Dragonfly, looking good. No issues there. Love that all the jump jets have their vents. Another vulture. Sorry, thought I saw something there that might need some cleanup, but when I turned it in the light, it didn't look bad. A lot of those came in the salvage box, so don't need to really go over any of those. And that is it. That is it, he says 40 minutes later. Alright, anyway, thank you guys for kind of digitally being here while I opened up my Clan Invasion Kickstarter Wave 1. Excuse me while I throw my minis around. If you guys have any questions, or if you want to know if you are in one of the pilot packs, let me know. I'll look through it for you. Otherwise, check us out again. WNRP Facebook page, WNRP on Podbean. We come out every month, and that's where I give my lore lessons. Lore lessons? That sounds very pretentious. That's not right. I go over some of my favorite moments in lore. So anyway, come check us out. If you aren't already over there checking us out, I'm guessing most of you probably came from there to watch this. So anyway, 45 minutes is way too long for me to ramble on. I hope you guys enjoyed checking out what I all picked up, and I will be seeing you guys later. Have a good day.